Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
What's up, there? Why is that commercial always stuck in my head? Listen, kid you not, y'all. Y'all gotta listen to it. The top to bottom commercial that we run when we run the show. I kid you not. Every time I look, everybody's like, you can't see us in the backstage, but you can see people's mouth moving. When me and we was doing unfiltered sports yesterday, I seen Shaq and him on the thing going repeating the words on the commercial.
Gee
But
whizzards.
make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure y'all checking out that top to bottom hair and skincare. Wonderful, great product. Their, their air freshener. Man, that thing be killing them. That thing be, man, my car be smelling so good.
Really? Really?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Actually, it smells good in this room. Because it still got mine hanging on the firearm. It's hard to see it because it's so small, but yeah, I got one in this room.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, but make sure y'all take advantage of that OG Network promo code OG26. OG Network 26. OG Network 26. If you spend $35 or more, you get 15% discount on all your purchases. Real talk.
Right, right.
Yeah. What's up, my brother Jay? How you feeling?
Brother Lon, it's always a pleasure to see you. As always, I am humble and I'm a little tired, rather. And actually, I'm very exhausted. So you're gonna see me rub my eyes a lot. And I'm humbled that once again we are blessed to actually have another wonderful Friday to do Firearm
Yes,
Fridays,
sir. Yes,
so
sir.
that
Yes,
people
sir.
can actually understand why we do what we do.
Why we do what we do?
Well, we do what we do because there are people out there who just don't know how to do. So this way we could do it for them, and then they could understand why we do what we do, because we can do what we do, so that nobody else has to do what we do. That way, when we do it, ain't nobody else gonna say that they done did it.
And what y'all doing? Anybody doing
The same
anything?
thing they do.
Welcome to Fire on Fridays, and this is what we do. We act the fool, but we also talk about firearms. We talk
That's
about
right.
firearm safety. We talk about firearm, some of the stuff that some people do that ain't safe when it comes to firearms.
Right.
And we
Facts.
also have fun and we joke around and we try to make the show as interesting as possible. But Out the Pit sent me a video. Um,
Okay.
it was on Instagram, whatever. And I looked at the video and it was this. Oh man, you would think people would learn not to play with guns around the house,
Come on now.
but
You
no, they don't learn. So the guy was playing with the gun, doing stupid stuff, silly stuff with it, and the gun goes off. And you know you can see you all when it always happens like that. You see that split second when the person stops and try to see if they're dead or not, because you always and they looking at themselves like, oh, did I hit myself? And they so glad nothing bad really happened.
those are moments I say they should have shot more than the foot.
Oh my goodness, man! And I just what?
Oh, gee whizzards.
It's always the 2-year-olds. Anyway, not important. But yeah, I was like, I don't know why they would why people play with them. At the end of the day, please don't. For those that are out there on the live, do yourself a favor and everybody else. I love guns, I enjoy them, but the one thing you don't do is play around with them. Hello, how are you? But
Saludo.
the one thing you don't want to do is joke around and play around with them. They're not toys. Yeah, you're right. But they're not those type of toys. You know what I mean? Like grown folk toys, not baby toys.
Okay. I'm glad you had the baby in there. Wait a minute. No.
Yeah. One more and he's banned. I'm being patient, but next time he's gonna get banned. One more stupid statement is a ban. But again, I don't. There's so much enjoyment you can get out of owning firearms, going to the range with your friends, with your buddies, doing it safely. Everybody's having a good time. Nobody get hurt. Nobody dies. But then you come across videos like that and you see somebody do something really, really stupid. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. And if you
don't hit the subscribe button, you better hit the like button. At least hit the damn button.
At least hit the like.
That you stood there for 30 seconds.
Right.
Hit the thumbs up button.
So it was like, I was like, man, I mean, it's humorous, but at the same time, bullets travel. They go through stuff. They go through walls. They go through, listen, a lot of time people, they go through doors, they go through windows, they go through walls. You don't know when it's going to stop. And you don't know what's on the opposite side of that wall, window, door, because you want to sit around and play. They go through floors. Like, even if you're facing it down, let's say you got a house that has a basement, or you in the second floor and somebody's on the first floor sitting on the couch watching TV, and you upstairs playing with a firearm, it goes off, goes through the floor, and now you done possibly murdered or killed one of your relatives because you wanted to play stupid. They're not to be played like that with. And even as much as I know about firearms, as much as I'm about as safe as you could possibly be with a firearm, I don't play with them. Even when I'm cleaning them, I'm very, I play with them in a gun range, of course.
I was about to say.
But you understand, of course, he's being a-hole right now.
Look,
he's right.
Hey, look.
But I just don't want I don't want nobody to get the wrong impression when it comes to these firearms. Please don't play with them like that type of stuff. That type of behavior, that type of stupidity. Go ahead.
Well, the first thing they have to understand is this. You don't go buy a firearm without taking a class about firearms. Doesn't make no sense. The two got to go together. The same. You see, this is why we make such a very, very good panel, you and I, because there's things that we agree to disagree on so oftenly, it's almost like changing your underwear. Okay? That's how often we disagree. Okay? Now, in almost every state that I know, you got to take a driver's test before you drive a car. So why not do the same thing with a gun? This way you don't have to worry about shooting anybody.
Here's the thing. I don't agree with having to take a driver test neither. Because here's the thing. Jay, you drive, right?
The what?
You drive, right?
Sure do.
How many times have you ran across people on the road that got one of those driving licenses?
Everything's thinking that.
See my point?
Now you see, that lead, and I gotta say this with all true sincerity. That leads the simplest term I can use is the blind lead the blind for a reason. Okay? So if I can't see what I'm doing, but I can hear real well and I remember what I'm hearing, then I'm gonna give you the answers to the test so that you can do the same damn thing. But when you're driving the car, you stay blind driving. Because I don't understand. I know this is off topic, yet I don't understand how is it possible certain people buy cars and they A, don't know where the gas tank is at, B, don't know how to put the gas in the car, okay, And most importantly, you don't know where the fucking switch is for your high beams. I know why you got the high beam on, because you're missing another eye. So you put the high beams on so the police don't stop you.
Well, hey, wait. It depends on your age.
No.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're 6 to
All right.
9. I'm a
Here's
cuss
my
you out.
point. Let's say you was driving 1975 Deuce in the
Nope.
Court.
No.
Wait. You've been driving that Deuce in the Court up until 2019. And now you're going to go into a new car.
Why would
Now you know that Deuce in the Corner high beams is on the floor.
This is true. You got to step on that thing and make a lot of
So they like this. The high beam, where?
And the damn thing takes a minute before it switches from low beam to high beam. You be saying click, 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 click. That ain't turned on yet. You ain't give it a chance to turn on. I had a Deuce in the Quarter, so I know. And I say
I'm
like
just laughing because could you imagine if there was somebody literally been in an old car that long, finally get into a new car and they still.
The first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna be looking for that switch on the floor. Then they're gonna be looking for the switch on the damn dashboard to turn the freaking heat to cold. You know, it had that starter.
Could you imagine that transaction?
Look,
how hilarious that transaction would be. I know we're supposed to be talking about firearms, but
that's what we do, because we could do what we want to do, because this is what we do.
But the point that and this is back to the firearm conversation, because Jay made a point about you should get some training, right?
Yeah.
Now, I agree, and I'm not gonna say disagree. I do agree. Now, when he said you should get some training, here's the difference between that. I purchased mine without no training, and I'm telling you the truth. But here's the difference between me purchasing a firearm without no training. I mean, I didn't go to a trainer. That's what I'm talking about. That didn't mean I didn't know how to use a firearm. It means I didn't go to a trainer. Right. Now I understood the operations of the firearm and all those type of stuff, but I didn't go to somebody who physically trained me. Now here's the thing. To my credit, and not his. We did a show, right? With some trainers. Training people how to use firearms. And both of us was going in on the trainers.
This is true.
So we both was criticizing the trainers. Like, now here's the thing. I tell all people all the time, I am self-trained. I'm very self-trained. But if anybody ever seen me handling a firearm, they would never believe that I was self-trained.
Hold the phone with the Acme product.
Okay, I was trained.
Let's not forget the two-legged walk backwards. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Gosh darn Acme product. Man, come on, man.
That video is always gonna be legendary.
That damn thing it did the electric slide backwards. I ain't never seen a tripod do the electric slide.
Now here's the thing. That's my fault. All the way. One reason why it was my fault, because I should have made sure I tightened up everything on there before I even decided to use the thing. But I
Well,
hand tightened everything.
Well, if you would have got training, you would have known that he had to tighten it. But since you were self-trained, that's why I took the electric slide on you, because you were self-trained.
Good point. That's funny. That tripod got his behind kicked.
It sure did. It sure did. It sure did.
Now here's the thing. In all honesty, I was doing a test on this firearm that I purchased, and I put the tripod on there, but everything was hand tight. Of course, I'm not thinking about, the recoil of the 12 gauge. I was only doing it to test because it was a semi-automatic clip magazine fed, and I wanted to see if it was going to jam, if it was going to have issues. So I'm not going to sit there and shoulder a 12 gauge shotgun and run 30 rounds through it right off my shoulder. That tripod looked like it. That tripod looked like somebody just got hit by a car and they was walking with crutches, but still don't know how to do it yet.
That dang on thing. Oh my gosh, that was the funniest. That was the funniest moment that I've seen you at the gun range. Attempting to be so professional. I mean, you was going good till that electric slide came on there. Then it went out the window. You were going so well. And then how you tried to adjust it while it was moving was funnier. I don't know what made it worse. I really don't.
I thought that was listen, I like the fact that it was. Here's the thing. I love the fact that it was unscripted. What's up, Chits for real? I'm sorry, I forgot to see that they was in there. I forgot. I like the fact that I do things when I try to do videos like that. I try to do them in a raw. I could have sat there and went through that video, edit out all the flaws, mistakes. I don't like doing that because I don't think that's being honest. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what I did was I did the video. I didn't edit nothing out of the video because I wanted y'all to see the video entirely with every flaw and everything wrong that you could possibly go wrong. Now, of course, handling the firearm wasn't an issue, but that tripod and it's, let's just see it. We got to turn the sound off, but
I got the sound off. This was the most famous electric slide of a tripod. I tell you, it was an Acme. I thought it was doing the put your left leg in and get your right leg out and put your right hand in and then just shake it all around because they was doing a whole lot of shaking.
it's about to go cripple in a minute.
Oh my goodness gracious. It was freaking hot. This was hilarious. This was the highlight of this test. Watching this tripod. Look at this tripod go. Look at it. Look at it. It's a split. Look at it. Ah! Ah! It was like an old man that slipped on ice.
Yo, that was so funny. That was so funny. And like I said, it was hand tightened. Now, of course, I'm not even thinking about the fact that this tripod is going to go crazy because I never used this gun. This is the first time I actually used that firearm. And I put the tripod on there And I'm not. Here's the sad part. I had a pair of grip pliers in my bag.
Did I just hear you say you had a pair of grip pliers in your bag?
This is the bag that I take to the gun range with me, right?
You best not pull out a pair of any plier, anything that considers a plier. You stinking Lincoln fat slobbing George Jefferson wannabe Ted Bundy lookalike.
As you can see, this bag has all of my firearm stuff, like little stuff that I need, like a screwdriver. Now,
you wrong.
Here's the thing. This is why I didn't get fixed. Because I was already in the middle recording that video. And at that point, once I realized that it being hand tightened was not going to hold up well, I said, oh, I'm in the middle of the video now. We already 10 minutes in. It's staying.
So.
Oh, it's good and tight now, though.
I'm not going to rag on you. I'm not going to roast you. I'm not going to do any of that.
No, you can roast me.
Well, in that case, damn it, how dare you turn around and say that you were self-trained? You walked around with a pair of pliers. And you could have tightened it when you got there.
Yep. Well,
you know how they say, always check to see if there's one in the chamber?
Oh, yeah. The
tripod. Make sure that thing didn't do the electric slide on you?
The tripod and the chamber is two different things, but yeah, I get your point.
Well, hell, when you look down the chamber, you would have seen the leg going like this, looking like, like somebody's putting it in a chicken, the old school chicken hole. You know,
that was so funny. And you would think that I would say, maybe you should not put this video up. But here's the thing.
No.
My point is that that's the reason why you put videos out like that.
Yeah.
Now, am I showing somebody to do something reckless? No. I was at a gun range. Yes, the tripod needed to be tightened up. I was testing the actual firearm. It really wasn't about the tripod. It was more so about rather that thing was going to jam up and stuff. But
so
it's a lesson learned. Tighten up your tripod.
So hold on.
Go ahead.
Look, you keep opening up these can of worms.
No, we having fun.
So you mean to tell me that you went to the gun range and it was to test the shotgun more so over the accessories?
Yeah.
So is the magazine part of the shotgun or is it an accessory?
First of all, both of the accessories failed. Because if you think about it,
the drum couldn't sustain anything.
The drum wasn't working well. The tripod wasn't working well.
That means the drum and the tripod were made by the same company called Acme. Because you couldn't get 3 shells consecutively out of it. At the third shell, the damn thing jammed on you.
Yeah. The drum
was straight garbage.
The drum was a no-no. The tripod, it just needed to be tightened up because after I used it the second time,
it was trying to tell you it wanted to dance for you. That's what it was telling. It was saying that it wanted to dance. It was excited. It was excited to see what that damn thing was gonna do.
Whack 100 Mag. It was the tripod. The tripod. Here's the thing. It's a 12 gauge shotgun. You don't need the tripod, and you definitely don't need that mag. So, truth be told, 2 things that accessories on there. You don't need the scope. You don't need the tripod, and you don't need the drum. The drum was just an accessory to see because I was going to run a whole bunch of rounds to it. I ran 30 rounds to it. The drum had 20. The magazines both had 5 in the magazine. That drum was the worst. I think the most rounds I got is probably about 5.
Look, I think if the drum was at its full capacity of functionality, you would have had a lot more fun watching the damn shells spew out as it was going into convulsions.
Right.
That's the only thing I could think of. And it kind of did suck because I was looking forward to it as well when you went there to actually see that drum hold itself up.
Yeah, but now as far as the mags that went with the gun, they do make the 10 round mags, and I'm eventually ordering me the 10 rounds. for that particular firearm. But when I put its own mags in there and what come with the gun, that thing ran flawlessly.
Flawless. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, but the other accessories on there, like the scope, you don't need the scope. It's a shotgun. I mean, you don't need the tripod. It's a shotgun. Now,
It looks good.
the tripod at the gun range, if you're going to run a lot of rounds, it's kind of going to help because if you don't want to shoulder it, like tuck into your shoulder and tear your shoulder up, like I do when I go to gun range.
The purpose is to tear the shoulder up.
Yeah. But if you just want to but honestly speaking, don't bother with the 12 gauge. Get your 458 scope.
Go. You want to feel what a tripod is supposed to do with busting your shoulder? Go do the BMG 50. That's all. Fire 5 rounds at the BMG 50, and then you could turn around and say you need a tripod for your shotgun. That's all I can say.
Could you imagine that tripod on on a 50 BMG?
It would look like literally a crippled person. It'd be the leg be turned.
If you look at the tripods they usually have on 50 BMGs, they're thick and they're sturdier.
It is very thick.
Yeah. Even than
steel rod.
Even more than the one like this one the one behind me has a tripod on it. This one has a tripod on it.
I've seen it.
But that's actually a better quality one. But that gun has a lot of kick to it.
That's the 5.56, ain't it?
No, that's the 458.
Oh, okay.
The other one is a 5.56, but that has a lot of kick to it. If you shoulder it, you're gonna feel it.
Wow.
Yeah, which I like. You know what I mean, Joe. I like recoil. Recoil.
I like recoil.
I embrace it. Yeah.
I embrace it as well too. Yeah. After the 8th shot, I don't want to embrace it no more though.
Yeah.
If you still stand, rather like this, if the target that I'm trying to hit is still standing at the 8th one, look, I'm gonna turn around and give them the damn shotgun. I'm gonna say, here, take this with you. Go ahead. Look, I'm not gonna give you rounds. Take this with you. You take it with you because it surely doesn't work. I'm just saying. After the 8th round, look, ain't nothing supposed to be standing.
But I do agree with Jay when it comes to. I really believe that you now. If you happen to own a firearm and you did not get training, go get training.
You need it.
Whatever way you got to get it, go get training. I'm telling you that is the reason why. Like, here's the thing: I did buy my firearm before. I've never sat down under training, but when I say training, you don't. It's not always I got to sit in the room with somebody training. Whatever best way to learn, meaning that even if you're watching videos on how to take the gun apart, how to use it, the functionality, the safety stuff, there is a lot you're gonna get out of it. Now, it is not like using a firearm. I can tell you that right now. It's not like using a firearm. Because if you never shot a firearm, that initial first time you shoot it is going to wake you up. You're gonna realize after one shot, you either gonna get scared and not want to do it again. Because I've had that happen with people. Or you're going to adjust yourself to what you're dealing with. And you're going to realize that, this is what it's like. Like, oh,
yeah. So this is how this party goes. Okay.
Right. And my thing is just, you don't want to take it for granted that, listen, firearms are fun. You can have a lot of fun with them. They're very enjoyable. Expensive, but they are enjoyable. But if you go out there and you're doing some silly stuff on the street, the reason why I wanted to do this talk this way, because man to man, 2 grown men that have lived a long life, we've seen some goods and we've seen some bads on the streets. We've seen some do's and we've seen some don'ts. And we've seen a whole lot of don'ts.
Yes, we have.
About videos that we watch, we talking about just people out in the street, wilding out, taking for not caring about life and out there just trying to do whatever they want to do with it. And those are the people that need to learn better.
This is true.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to run the 30-second commercial. We're going to come right back, and we're going to get into this conversation about this street stuff and what's happening on the streets. And we're going to give our honest opinion on, and me and him might disagree, but we're gonna give our honest opinion on what we see out in the streets and what we think needs to happen to fix it. But we'll be right back. Hang in there.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
And we're back. And make sure you're using the promo code OG Network 26. That's OG Network 26. Get $35 or your 15% off every time you buy something if you spend $35. Real talk. But yeah. And for me personally, now I grew up in the city of Philadelphia, and Jay, you spent, I'm assuming, most of your life in New York, like your younger years.
My younger years were in New York, yeah.
Okay.
My troubled years, can I say?
Your troubled years. Hey, what's up, Eric? How you doing? Now, my question is,
What do you say, Eric? Erica, thank you for sliding through.
Appreciate you. Now, my question is this: growing up in New York, and I grew up in the city of Philadelphia. I grew up in North Philadelphia. If anybody not sure what North Philadelphia is like, it's a rough part of the city. I mean, if you know who Bernard Hobson is, and he grew up in the rough top side of the city, which is North Philly, is where I grew up at. And the reason why I wanted to get into the subject is because we see a lot of young guys out here on the streets, murdering, shooting, killing, waving these guns around on the streets like as if that's what life is. That's what owning a firearm is about, and it's not. Far from it. Far from it. And there is honor in being a responsible firearm owner. You know what I'm saying? And when you go and you're running around terrorizing people in your community because you think you're invincible with a firearm, you're gonna realize all you're doing is you're turning yourself into a target.
That's true.
And eventually someone's gonna hit that target.
That is even more true.
And you're gonna lose your life or possibly be shot because you embrace that culture, that mindset.
True.
And so for me personally, I would love to see these young guys get out of that mindset and start getting around responsible firearm owners so you'll learn something and what honor it is to be a responsible gun, firearm, weapons owner. And that's real talk. Jay, I just want to get your take, bro, for the audience. Number one, I know what you see. We both probably see the same thing. And what do you think what do you see on the street and what you think could change? And how would you change it if you could?
That's a hell of a question. I got to say, that is a hell of a question. And usually I'm not stumped with your questions, but that one got me. I wasn't expecting that one. So the best I could say is, first of all, we have to understand that it's not only young guys, older guys, 8 to 80. Let me just put it like that. Guys, there's also girls out there. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the bad part is that, like we agree and like we disagree, because that's what we do. We agree and disagree, and we have great points between each other. The only way that I have to answer it in two parts. The first part we disagreed upon some time ago. I think, and I strongly believe that at a gun shop that sells ammo and sells guns, The same requirement to buy the gun should be for the ammo. Reason why, again, I say that is because if you're not a legitimate, rightful person to own and purchase a gun, why are you purchasing bullets? You don't have a gun to purchase. You don't have a gun to put the bullets in. So why are you buying bullets? So if you're buying bullets, that means you have a gun that you're not supposed to have. And
Right.
I know we disagreed on that one. I know, and we had legitimate reasons why we disagreed.
Right.
Yet I find that would be one way to control the nonsense of individuals that are just shooting just because. Let's not forget, they turned around, they said the nonsense about the switch. Matter of fact, we did a video before I bring my second part. A long time ago, we did a video on a bunch of jokers that were on YouTube and Instagram calling out the president, talking about they had switches. They didn't want the president to send the National Guard in. And there was this one military guy turned around and said, and I totally agree with him. He says, "Nigga, by the time you let off that switch, you got a hole in you the size of $50 because you didn't even hear a little bzzz. You thought it was a mosquito that bit you, but now you got a hole inside you like this big." So the reason why I brought that up is because the same way they thought, that they were really badasses out in the street, firing 9mm, firing 357s, firing all these AKs. For what? You just sending a straight bullet to hit somebody, to unalive someone who doesn't need to be unalived, a child maybe. For what? So now you spend anywhere between $50,000 to $3,000 in bullets, but the gun is not even yours. Where's the fun in that? Like we said before, there's fun in it. Where's the fun in that? Right? So the second part to answer, the best way that I believe, the best way is training is very, very, very important when you buy a gun. Look. Let me bring this down. Let me bring this down a little bit more home here. Recently, you bought a car, right?
Yeah.
Did the salesman tell you everything about the car, like how to function the window, where the brakes was at, where the oil was? Did he or she tell you any of that?
Yeah.
He did.
All right. See, you get my salesman is he's a tech junkie.
Okay.
He's in his world with that. Like, here's my point. This is the salesperson. You already know what I'm talking about. So
yes.
When I get to the car, he didn't already dissected everything about this car, all the functionalities of it, before I could even touch the car. Once he looked it up, once he knew I was coming to see about this particular vehicle, he pulled it out. He turned on the heat. He turned on this. He turned on that. Air conditioner, remote control. Everything about this car he knew from top to bottom. He showed me all the functionalities, where the gas thing is to open up. Now, his thing, I still forgot where the gas thing was at for a few seconds. Pulled up to the gas station, like, now I know he said it was somewhere on the door, but the way they had it hitting in there was kind of like, okay. But my point is that he's one of those rare salespeople that actually let you know what you're buying. Like he want you to know what you're buying when you buy it. So it's hard for me to really go by him.
That's good. No, that's good. Because now that goes to my second part. Right. If you find a dealer where you buying your gun and they have a training class that does the same exact thing, teaches you how to break it down, teaches you how to clean it, teaches you how not to get it jammed, teaches you what to look for, teaches you exactly how to break it down and still utilize it, even though most of it is in parts. These are the things that I say that should be taught, because most people buy guns the same way they buy cars, don't know how to use the left turn signal switch, don't know how to turn on the car, don't know how to put it in drive when they got the damn foot on brake. They got the emergency brake on. They don't know how to get it out of the emergency brake. Same thing with a gun. You buy a gun, and you have no clue about what the gun does. and you don't even know how to load the magazine, because the old school way is you take your thumb and you push down and up. Now, I can tell you, because I have one, the actual magazine has a push button. It slides down, and all you do is clip, 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 clip.
Yeah. Some, not all the guns, but yeah, some of them do.
So,
I have the same one, so I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
so when we look at what is the most important, crucial point behind owning a gun, is actually training. Someone has to teach you about the gun you're buying, because you're gonna mess yourself up. Either you're gonna shoot yourself in the leg because you don't want to look down the chamber.
Yeah.
You're gonna put too much oil in there and it's gonna jam.
Listen, I agree with the training part. The only thing that we disagree with is the regulating of the training part.
Right.
I always refer back to, I don't want government involved. I don't want politicians involved. I don't want government involved.
Right.
I do agree with you should get training. That's why I always encourage people to go get trained, because I think you should. I 100% agree with. So when we say there are things we disagree on, we definitely agree on that subject. The only thing that I don't agree with is government regulating bullets, firearms, because I know how government and what it turns into. Here's my point to that.
Keep talking.
Before
I gotta move something.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Before you have to get a driver's license. I mean, there was a time where you didn't need a driver's license. Now they regulated that. There were times in certain states you didn't have to have your car inspected and all this other stuff. Now look what the government did with that. The reason why I don't want any government involved, because now it becomes more money for the government to waste on bullcrap that they don't need, and they're regulating everyday people. And I just don't trust nothing about politicians. I don't trust nothing about government. And so when he says about getting trained, I agree 100%. And I think that everybody should go get. I don't want government involved there. I want you to just go get it. Be responsible. I know everybody ain't, but I want you to be a responsible person and go get trained. Go around somebody that has at least a reasonable amount of training, so that they can show you how they operate. Now, when I went to go purchase my firearms, I wasn't oblivious. That's the whole point that I'm making. Although I wasn't like trained by somebody, I wasn't oblivious to how firearms work and the functionality of it. So I wasn't buying it totally ignorant. But there are a lot of people that do purchase firearms that don't have no idea how they work. I know that for sure because I've seen them do it. Now, if you know somebody that has firearms, know how the functionality, ask them to show you. Go to the range. Ask them to show you. It is so essential that you get trained, because here's the thing what's going to happen. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but this is the thing that might happen. Let's just say your very reason for purchasing the firearm was to protect yourself, right? You got this nice, beautiful, polished up firearm sitting in your house that you don't know how to use. Someone comes into your home.
Ooh.
And you still got this nice, pretty, polished firearm that you still are not efficient with. This is why I agree with it. Now, the regulating part is where we
disagree at.
But the actual training, we 100% agree with each other.
100%.
If someone comes into your home, you got this nice, pretty, polished up, nice little firearm that's been sitting in your house for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You never cleaned it. You never took it apart. You never made sure it was oiled up. It is about as dry as the desert. Now something happened and you go to pick this firearm up. Number one, you're not even sure how to use it. You haven't even put ammo. You're not even comfortable with putting ammo in the clip because you don't know how to use it. What was the point?
Right.
If you bought it to protect yourself, get yourself trained. Learn how it works. Learn the functionalities of it. Become efficient with it. Because if someone does, whether you in your home or whether you out in the street, let's say you get your concealed carry, you want to go out and conceal carry your life, but you've never trained with this gun, it is useless. It's just another piece of clothing on your body.
This is
Really?
true.
And if you haven't cleaned it, oiled it up, and made sure that all of the functionalities of the gun is working like they're supposed to, guess what? There's no point in having it.
You got a very expensive paperweight.
Yeah, that's it. And so we 100% agree with the fact that you should get trained. Now, everybody have different levels of training. I think you should try to become as more efficient as you can. Now, here's the thing. I know that people want to charge you for training and stuff like that. Get the training whatever way you can. Every little bit count. I don't care if you got to watch a 500 videos as much as you can. Go ahead.
I apologize to interrupt you, Ron.
No, go ahead.
That's not my thing. I can tell you, because I've already done it, 3 different classes were 100% free. 3.
Okay.
3 of them. In 3 different states that I went to recently, between 2025 and 2026. 3 different states, all 100% free on teaching you how to use a firearm.
Now, here's the thing. There's probably a lot of gun dealers that probably will train you to some level if you purchase in a firearm. If you ask the right questions, they probably will say, you know what? No, we're going to show you right here what you're supposed to do. Blah, blah, blah. And then they probably won't show you with a real firearm. But my thing is, this is every little bit of training that you get, every knowledge that you obtain is going to help you along the way. Listen, I am still a student. As much as I think I know, I am still a student. Every time I went to the range, and I kid you not, and I'm, shooting, practicing, whatever, and I end up learning something else about myself, about firearms. And then, like me, I'm a rifle person. I like my rifle. So I'm always practicing my aim, basically being able to pick the shot that I want to take. And I'm not guess shooting, if you understand what I mean by that. I'm picking my shots and I'm hitting what I want to hit. That's the ultimate goal anybody want to be. Is that you don't want to be picking up a gun and then you go fire and your eyes are blinking and you just hit, you hope, you wish shooting. You pull the trigger and wish you hit something.
Wishful thinking.
Right. Wishful thinking. You want to be one of those people that, and listen, I don't do it so that if something happened, I'll be able to take out the person with that, because I don't think about that type of stuff. Like I don't think about, oh, I want something to happen so I can kill somebody. That's far from my mind. That's not a thought. Now I do think about, I hope nothing happened that I have to, but that's not a daily thought in my head. Like, oh yeah, something happened. It's just, hey, if you happen to come, if you happen to come into a situation where you have to, you don't want to be one of those people where you have to guess shoot or wish shoot or hope shoot.
Yeah.
You want to be able to handle that firearm well enough to know what you're going to shoot and listen, when to shoot. Because here's the thing. Let's just say somebody does break in your house.
Oof.
You only got about a split second to decide if you have to take a shot. If that shot goes through that person, where else is that bullet going to go?
Right.
Awesome. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Where else is it possibly going to go? If it goes through the person and goes through a door, who's on the other side of that door? Is it going to go outside? You don't have a whole lot of deciding factors in it. You got to do a whole, you know what I mean? So maybe it's smart to say, if I happen to take this person out, I'm going to try to hold up high and maybe aim down low so that the bullet if it goes through them, it's going downward as much as possible. You don't have a whole lot of time to think about those things a lot in the moment. And that's real talk. You really don't. But the more training that you get, the more efficient that you are, the more you are well suited for the situation, the better off you'll be. You pick up a firearm that you purchased at the store and you have no idea how it works, you wasted your time. If you're not going to go get the training, if you're not going to get taught. And my thing is this: if you know somebody that is well good with firearms, and I'm not talking about your homie down the street who got firearms and just doing reckless stuff. That's not. I'm talking about responsible gun owners.
Right.
People that understand the responsible gun owners are the ones you want training. The ones down the street don't know what they're doing.
Absolutely not.
Knuckleheads on the street don't have a clue what they're doing. Now, I think that they don't understand the honor and owning the fire. They think that gangster street stuff is what it's about, and they're far from it. And the thing that what perplexes me is that I hear in the news talk about outrage about this. They made all of this big stink about Iran. They made all this big stink about all the stuff that's going on. But as much as these young boys are on the streets killing each other every day, I never see the outrage about that.
Right, right,
This happens on the regular. They protest about immigration. They protest about all of this stuff. But they never protest about these young guys out here on the street killing each other.
right, right.
Where's the outrage in that? Like me, we're having a conversation about this because I think this is a big conversation. And I want you young guys listening. If you one of them young guys on the street out there doing that, man, stop. Do me a favor, stop.
Stop it. Exactly.
Yeah, stop. Here's the thing. Somebody asked me one time, why do I have firearms behind me? There's a whole lot of reasons. Number one, because I can. That's the first thing, because I can.
Right.
I'm a law-abiding, responsible firearm. The United States Constitution says I have the right to keep and bear arms.
Right.
And right there. I've done many and many videos and many shows with these firearms behind me. And guess what? Nobody ever died. The other thing is that being as someone that's from the melanated community, I want to show you a different image. I'm a responsible gun owner. I'm not running from the police. I ain't hiding from nobody. I ain't doing nothing slick. That's why I can have mine right there and nothing nobody can say about it.
Right.
Because I'm not out there breaking the law. I'm not out there terrorizing my community. I'm a good guy with a gun. I'm the guy that's going to stop the situation if I had a chance to. That's the honor in owning firearms. That's the real, listen, a good guy with a firearm is the same as a police officer with a firearm. There is no difference but the uniform.
Right, right.
If a police showed up and they did not have a firearm, but yet they had the uniform, and you showed up and you had the firearm, but not the uniform, both of you guys have the same intentions as to stop the bad guy. Who's going to be the most effective person in the moment? The one with the firearm.
Yep.
And that's my whole point. Because you're going to be saving the policeman's life at that point.
This is true.
That uniform is not going to mean nothing.
Not a thing.
And that is the point that I'm trying to make is that. And that's where the honor of owning a firearm, that's the thing you have to understand about responsible, law-abiding citizens that own firearms. Good guys with a gun is the best thing. That is the number one thing that creates safe communities.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I would debate with anybody. A bunch of good guys with guns will always keep your community safe because the bad guys don't want that problem.
Nope.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to leave your community or they're going to go terrorize the easy one.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. Yeah.
They're going to go find some other place to terrorize. But if they see an army of good guys with guns, and you don't believe that, that's why you think America, and I'm not saying nothing ever happens to America, but America, because of the military that we have and the equipment and the technology that we have, most countries don't want that smoke. It's the same thing in your community. If you want to own your community, it ain't the police that can do it. Because they driving by, the activity stops for a little while, and then guess what?
Goes right back to it again.
Go right back to it. But you're right there. You're right there. And the men of that community, and I'm not saying women can't too, women and men. But when y'all show unity in your community, that's what stops the bad guys. Facts. That's what stops them. But you got to be okay with the consequences because that might end up being going bad, worse. But you know what? I'm dead serious. That's the only thing that's going to stop it. The police can't do much. But if you got the police and the community against all of the bad guys either going to realize that, you know what, we can't do this no more. They're not having it.
Right, right.
The reason why those communities stay like that is because the regular people, and they also embrace that culture. Instead of fighting back, they embrace the culture. And now it just gets worse. Instead of standing against it, they embraced the culture. Now the culture is infested in the neighborhood.
Right.
If you let roaches run around in your house, what's gonna happen?
You're gonna have a roach infested house.
And if you don't get no cans of Raid or whatever you gotta do to kill these roaches and get rid of them, what's gonna happen with the roaches?
They just gonna,
You gonna have
it's
an
gonna become, it's gonna become just like that old school movie called Joe's Apartment.
and the next thing you know, they're gonna be sitting on your couch watching TV with you.
That's right. That's telling
Eating
you
up
to
your
go get the
food.
food.
And everything. But my point is just that that's what happens in the same thing. When you instead of fighting against the culture, we embraced it. In certain neighborhoods, they embrace that culture. And then this is what you end up with. Go ahead.
With that being said, I want to jump in this video that I came across,
Okay.
and almost everything we're talking about just now for the past few minutes, even when I came off screen, I had to go snatch something up. I apologize for that one.
No, you good.
And this video, I want you to listen to the video, and then I want you to tell me what you think.
Okay.
Because we're good at this. We're good at presenting things to each other that we never seen before to get a real honest opinion. Yeah, I said honest opinion.
Honest. I'm gonna try to be honest. Hopefully it don't get dumber.
Listen, we've already seen a bunch of stupider people. I don't know if we can even go
stupider.
that
That's
far.
what I'm looking for. Hopefully it don't get stupider.
I want to play specifically from this one specific spot. All right, so
Okay.
just bear with me. Just
You got it,
bear
bro.
with me.
It's funny you already said it was out.
Oh, it's gonna be funny.
Oh God.
Lawful access bill. What concerns did you have about the initial one that you're hoping to see the government address when they present their new legislation?
The original drafting of C2 was so broadly worded that it actually encroached upon privacy rights. So we appreciate law enforcement's need to access certain documentation, certain electronic devices. There's an absolute need of that, given the volume of cases that our law enforcement is dealing with. But at the same time, we have to narrowly focus its lawful access regime to also reflect privacy rights. So that was the concerns that we had. Obviously, it resounded well with the government because they decided to split the bill and to focus in. And we haven't seen exactly what it is they're going to propose yet, but we're very mindful and hopeful that it's going to be very narrowly focused, but also respecting privacy rights.
What about AI chatbots, especially after what happened with Tumblr Ridge? How do you want to see them address that?
It has to be addressed in some fashion. I'm waiting to see how the government addresses it.
I want to ask about this bill or this effort. Is this castle law? Like, is this castle law? Like, how does this differ than what we see in the States? Because I think a lot of Canadians would look at this proposal and say, did the Conservatives want to bring castle law into Canada?
Okay. You got the gist of it so far? Because there's going to be another part. There's another part to this that's going to throw a whole lot of smoke on our conversation. Ready?
Yeah.
The question being that if a person enters the home unarmed,
Unarmed, but the homeowner themselves
Okay.
is armed, and they say, "Oh my gosh, someone's in
Okay.
my home. This is scary. I shoot and kill them."
So-
even though the perpetrator who entered their home unlawfully is unarmed, would this protect them, and that would be seen as reasonable?
I reject some of the premise of that question because you're presupposing that the homeowner knows that this intruder is unarmed. A lot of these people conceal weapons on them when they enter the home and only produce these weapons, knives, guns, all kinds of violent weapons can be produced if there is opposition to their stated intention. They're entering a home, presumably to steal an item of some value. A homeowner doesn't know that. A homeowner being awoken in the middle of the night has to make a split-second decision. Do I take active steps right now to defend my home, preserve my life, preserve the lives of my family, or do I ask this person, are you armed, and is your stated intention only to steal from me? That is an unfair question to put put to a homeowner. This particular law will decide that if someone enters the home, they're doing so unlawfully, and that gives the homeowner the right to use reasonable force. And that reasonableness is upfront, as opposed to a judge after months, if not years removed, applying a current 8-part test to determine reasonableness.
So there's a reason why I had to play the first part, because I wanted to stump you a little bit before I got to the kit and
Yeah,
caboodle.
because I'm like, where is he going with this?
Because look, I watched that whole actual news report. Okay,
And I know this is Canada, but
there's a big reason why I wanted to present that, because
Go ahead.
not only because it's Canada, yet they have the same ruling as Great Britain and a
Right.
lot of European places.
mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to have a firearm. It is the worst thing ever. You cannot own a gun. The police department, only a specific group of police can have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mhm.
this is a new ruling that they have now put into place in Canada
Mm-hmm.
to say that the homeowner legitimately has the right to protect their home, because like he said, they don't know the intentions of the intruder.
Right.
How are you going to turn around and say, oh, nobody, look, I got to ask you first, are you coming to steal? What do you want to steal from me? Are you coming to hurt me, rape me, rob me, beat me up? What is
And
your intention?
this is where people get it twisted at. They say, well, they don't have gun deaths. Yeah, but they have a screaming amount of knife death and all type. The murder rate didn't
Knives,
change.
Bats, chains,
Right. They
bricks.
just, okay, I ain't got no gun. All right, I'm gonna take this bat and beat the crap out of whoever I can be. A murderer is a murderer. That's it. It doesn't matter the weapon. I don't know why they act like guns are more dangerous. The gun is the most dangerous one, because honestly speaking, it's not.
It's not.
It is not. Listen, I ask everybody a question.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
If you was about to get robbed, right? Or if someone was getting ready to do something and you had a choice. Now I know this sounds like a stupid thing. You had a choice. I either shoot you or beat you with the hammer.
Well, I'm
Which
shooting.
one you gonna take?
I'm gonna shoot you. I'm too
No, I'm
old.
not talking about you don't want. You don't want.
Oh.
Listen, I'm talking about you taking the beating.
Oh,
You don't want gonna take either the gunshot or the hammer.
either for me, either one's gonna kill me.
Right. But do you think that the gunshot will be? You think that I believe that the hammer would be the worse death than a gunshot,
Absolutely, because it's the one that's
that's
gonna take the longest.
especially if they take the claw part.
Oof.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like they act like the guns are just the worst thing ever, and they don't realize. Okay, here's another one: die by gun or die by vehicle.
Oof. That's a little too close to home there, buddy.
You understand my point? Yeah, I know, and I know your story, but that is the point that I'm trying to make. Okay, I'm saying that because these are ways that people die beyond guns. Now, here's the thing: you ever watch somebody really get stabbed with a knife?
Oh my gosh. I have. I've seen it. I've seen it.
And they
I've
just
seen
keep stabbing and stabbing and stabbing and stabbing and stabbing.
It ain't pretty.
Right.
Not
And that's
only is
why I
it
said-
not, my bad. Not only is it not pretty, the sound is horrific. Horrific. I would just simply turn around and tell everybody like this: if you know any Latino or Latina, male or female, a Latin person, on Thanksgiving, because a lot of them tend to do this, they buy a pork shoulder and they bring the pork shoulder home, and the way to get the seasoning all the way to the bone is that they stab it constantly to
right.
create holes, and then they stuff it with the seasoning. Just stand right next to them while they're stabbing that thing and just listen to the noises that the person is making just to get the knife into that pork shoulder.
Right. Now,
It's horrific.
we both cook, so I'm quite sure we've had moments where. So I know what he's talking about. I know what you're talking about, but my thing is, and then you bleeding out, and you're still getting stabbed. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only reason why a gun sounds because of the noise and the distance. Go ahead.
This is where it gets funny because I like the way you put that. I really like the way you put that. So we talk about noise.
Right.
Back in the day, I know me, when I was a youngin', I used to cause a lot of trouble with M80s. Okay?
Yeah. I remember the M80
And when you
days.
talk about noise, just think for a moment. I'm sure that most of the people watching get startled when they hear, I don't know if you remember this one, but back in the day, there was this little piece of paper that had like a little firecracker sign. You
Oh
throw
yeah. You throw them on the ground, and
Yeah. People would jump at that little thing making that little snap noise.
right.
Imagine 10 M80s going off, one behind the other. Let me see how many people gonna stand there and look at, oh, what's there? What's there? And all of a sudden
Anybody gonna run?
they're gonna run. Absolutely. They're gonna run. So
Because of the noise.
exactly because of the noise. So it's not so much of the noise factor for a lot of people. What they fail to understand is this is why you need the training. This is why you need to understand the weapon you're buying. This is the reason why you need to be taught about the weapon that you're purchasing. Because at the end of the day, even down to old school, this is another thing. I know I'm jumping around and I apologize. I got a whole lot of information. I apologize. Ron, I know that when I first was taught how to shoot a gun, they said you got to close one eye and look down and match the back with the front. That was the wrong way. You're supposed to keep both your eyes open to look down sight from the back
Right.
to the front so that you hit your target.
Right.
So why is it all of a sudden, so many years later, they found out that that was the wrong thing to do? Now they tell you, keep your eyes open, but you hear this loud bang, and it's automatic reflex. You close your eyes because you don't like that noise. Your body doesn't like that noise.
Right.
But if you're not trained on that weapon, you won't get used to the noise.
Right.
Real simple. So
You
to bring
can-
it all back, go ahead.
You can listen. If you ever been to the range, this is a reason why the range, being at the range long enough will help you get over the noise real quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
First time you go to the range, it's gonna, after a while, you're gonna become more relaxed and say, okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't even realize you're actually being trained how to deal with the noise, even though you're not there to be trained to deal with the noise. But
That's
the more
right.
you hear the noise, and the more you hear firearms go on, here's the thing: you're gonna recognize the sounds. That's essential, even when you're out in the street and something's happening, because sounds sometimes make you identify what's going on.
This is true.
Because a lot, it's something like fireworks and gunfire is similar, but they're also, you can sometimes distinguish the difference between the two.
Yep.
But again, if you're not familiar and you're not around this type of stuff on a regular basis, and you've never been to the range, you're not going to know. You hear stuff and you're not going to know. But again,
Right.
if you're in a situation where you have to use a firearm in an emergency situation, and you're afraid, and the first time you go to shoot it, you might miss the target because you're so scared because the noise went off.
Yeah.
Then you blink your eyes, and the person that, if they coming to do dirt or whatever, realizes that you don't know what you're doing,
Oh, it's
that's
over.
just going to motivate them even more.
It's over. It's over for you.
It's over for you.
Over for that gun owner if
Right.
they actually, and I apologize for jumping in. If you do not know how to hold your gun or your firearm, you do not know how to holster it or unholster it, or even when you go to, how Ron would say, do a drill in your house, meaning how to walk from room to room with your firearm,
Right.
your ass is in trouble. It's clearly in trouble. We know a guy, okay, real quick. We know a guy that he said to me that he would be able to come to my house and take my gun from me. I said, I want to see you try. Then he heard something in the background. He said, oh, no, I can't fuck with you. No, I can't.
Right.
I said, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Because he understood he knew he was gonna have to get through something else in order to get to you. But by that time, you've already changed you didn't change the dynamics, and now you're prepared for him.
Exactly.
But without the dogs, he would have won that fight.
No, he wouldn't. Nope. Nope.
My money, my money's on him.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. Look. I'll double that one if he does. All right.
Because now I'm not saying anybody.
No, him particularly.
Right.
Nope.
I would say him particularly is because
no. Because remember what he said. He said, "Oh shit, I remember where you got trained at." I said,
yeah. Okay.
So you want to go? Come on.
Now here's the thing.
Let's slither this around.
Of course we'll never know. Hopefully not. Hopefully we never know.
We won't never know.
But
I can say it like this. No, hold on. I can say it like this. It does come back to training. Yes. Okay. Right. Let's come back to the training concept. If you don't know what you're doing with a gun, don't buy it. If you're buying it for protection, learn how to use it. Because here's the funny thing. Just like a car, just like a motorcycle, just like a horse, okay, literally a horse. You don't buy those things if you don't understand the functionality of them. Real simple.
If you don't intend to use them. In order to use them, you got to know how.
This is true. I mean, I am guilty because, again, we all have our flaws. I'm guilty. I haven't cleaned mine in 2 months. So, yes, I am 100% ready to take blowback. For those who don't know what it is, that means the bullet doesn't come out of the front. It comes out the back, and it just blows up in my face.
Yeah. I mean, 2 months. Well, I mean, some people, you might still be all right, but here's the thing. I always, if you don't do it, at least check it.
See, and that's my problem.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't even done that. This is what I'm saying. I'm guilty. I got to own up to it. I'm guilty. You know? And it's true, like you said, when it comes time for you to use it, it's going to be a problem. Right. Because it's not going to function because of all the lack of the steps that you were supposed to maintain.
I mean, I've been guilty of waiting too long to do it too. And so don't kick yourself. Like, if you somebody on a live, don't, this is a reminder.
Exactly. It's a reminder because you just never know.
Because at that time, I try to do mine as often as possible. But I remember the other day we did a video the other day, and I was talking about that, and I realized that my ladies, I haven't touched hers. And I had to go get hers. Was like, and I was like, where is it? I said, I forget sometimes that you even have it.
Right. Well,
and I had to take hers from her and clean it and do everything and then oil it down and make sure it's good to go. It was still good to go even before I did that, but it was long, in my opinion, long overdue. But it was nothing wrong with it, but it still was long overdue. And I was like, man, what was I thinking? And I forgot about it because it's her firearm. I'm not thinking about it now. Mine, I'm thinking about it. Hers, I'm not thinking about it. And then one day when we was doing a video and it just hit my head, and I was like, I gotta make sure I don't forget. So I wrote a note down while we was on the live, just I don't get it. And I had to go do it. I was like, man, shame on you, bro. Like, what was you thinking?
And I think with that, there's two factors behind that. One factor is that you get so tied up with your daily life stuff. And the false, and here comes the key point, the false sense of security, because you believe that you have everything already taken care of, nothing can happen. And it's usually that moment when you think nothing can happen is when something happens. And that
Yep.
force of security, that one moment is where everything goes array.
And you know, when you say that, this is the reason why. When we was talking, when Justice runs on Diesel, and he started bringing up the knife, a really good knife, it grabbed my attention because a really, really good knife don't malfunction very easily.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right. So even though you may have a firearm, you might have a situation where it don't function. Let's say
Yeah.
somebody walk up on you and you don't have a chance to get it, but you do have a good knife that you got that's ready to go. You can get to
Harambe.
that faster than the firearm, and that's your only line of defense. So I that's why it really it struck my attention when he said it, and I was like, man, and if you're trying to be quiet,
Yeah.
you don't want, and like he said, you don't really want to give up your position. And you know what I mean, where firearms sometimes because of the flash may give up your position to some extent. If you can eliminate people quietly in the situation, if you ever into that type of situation that happens. And a lot in a lot of cases I see what he meant by the knife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of firearm.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, I kind of get what he's going with this. I agree with him when it came to that. Those are nice looking. But I don't think I would use it.
I could tell you like this. Those things are dangerous. They dangerous.
Like,
You don't see them. You don't see them being pulled out because the ring, you put your finger through the ring and it sits right inside your palm like that. So you flick it like this, and then they have that hook. So when you go to, you can actually old school. You probably remember this, maybe not. When the meat man used to come by in a truck to deliver meat, they had this hook. They used to grab the meat off the hook inside the truck and then put it on their back and then walk over to you and lay out the meat. As dangerous that hook was, is that Dan Karambit.
Wow.
Just that dangerous. So I'm just saying. So when we talk about this before, huh?
No, I said now I want a meat hook.
Listen, we said it before, we say it again. Guns don't kill people. The gun is not what kills people. It is the people that kill people.
Right.
Because a bat, a rock, a brick, a car, hell, a sneaker, a shoelace. I mean, anything you put in your hand is a weapon.
Let me tell you something. I watched this thing where they said it was an accident, but they killed somebody with zip tie. Choked them out with a zip tie.
I can see that.
Yeah. They put the zip tie around the person's neck.
I can see that.
And then they went real tight with it, trying to scare the person, and then couldn't get it off.
Absolutely not. That thing started digging in because they panicked. The blood vessels started swelling up. Their neck swelled up. Now they started losing air.
Yeah. And they died that way. The zip ties. Now, how you gonna get the zip tie off? If it's in there embedded into your skin, now you can't breathe. It ain't like you can just pull it off.
No.
Zip ties are strong. That plastic is strong.
Yes, it is.
But,
and if you don't know what we're talking about, I could tell you like this: there are a ton of videos out there done by the United States Agriculture of Wildlife, I believe it's called, where they go out in ships and all they do is hunt down sea lions that have shit wrapped around their necks, digging into their necks, and you see how much trouble it is to get that shit. They got knives that look like the karambit that digs so close next to the skin before they can actually pull up the item that they're trying to cut, and then they go in there and they cut the item off, and you see deep gashes in the damn sea lion's neck. So, for those that want to know, you can go YouTube it. I'm just saying, YouTube it. It's not a gun that kills people. People kill people.
Yes, they do. And that's it.
So get your training with your guns. I strongly say get your training with your guns. I know Ron and I would disagree on this one, but I believe they should regulate who and how they buy bullets.
Yeah.
Because again, if you don't have the right for a gun, then you shouldn't be buying bullets.
Yeah.
You spent, for example,
So
we
you
know that there's
trust
a bullet.
government?
Huh?
You trust government?
Absolutely not.
So that's who's going to regulate it.
No, they don't have to regulate it. No.
That's
All they gotta
who's
do,
going to
they don't
regulate
have to all they have to do is look, watch this. They ain't gotta regulate it. They just have to make a notation of it. Yes, we are aware that this person done it. Don't follow that person. Don't need to know anything about the person. Yes, we know that this person did it. So this way, because let's not forget, you can buy a bullet, and the bullet comes out of a specific firearm. They can trace the bullet back to where it came from. So that's the part of regulation they need to figure out, not who bought it. Find out how it got there. Then you can go pick up Ray and Josue and Leroy and Tawanda and all these other people for buying bullets when they're not supposed to buy bullets because their neighborhood ain't allowed to have them. It's like that.
Yeah, I know, but I still don't. I already know that it's the minute you give them just much,
Well, then
it's going to turn into
then why are we licensed?
I don't agree with that neither. I don't
But
agree
we're
with that.
licensed. But we're licensed.
I
Now
don't agree
you
with
say now watch this now. Watch this now. What you know how we agree to disagree a lot, or not much, but we agree to
Well,
disagree.
I didn't need my license to purchase my firearm.
No, you did not.
No,
But
I
you
didn't.
needed your license. Why'd you need your license? Come on now.
To conceal carry in the city of Philadelphia.
Hey, Killer Qua.
Now, here's the thing. I don't agree with it.
But you went and did it anyway.
Well, if I'm okay with the consequences,
Did you go do it anyway?
yeah, I went and did it, but I don't
Okay,
agree
then.
with it.
You don't
Yeah, I don't
agree with
agree
it,
with
but you did it anyway because you know it's in the best interest of yourself.
Well, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
I don't agree with it because I think it's unconstitutional.
Okay.
It infringes on my right to keep and bear arms. I should not have to ask nobody for permission.
You're right. Yet, here comes the conundrum.
Right.
You did it anyway.
Right. I did it anyway. And listen, again, here's the thing. If I did it the other way, now here's the thing. If I did it the other way, I'm opening myself up to be attacked by the law, which I disagree with. Now, if I'm willing to deal with the cost of fighting it in court and stuff like that, I'm going to win.
Okay.
But I have to be prepared. I would have to be prepared. Here's the thing. I'll give you a prime example.
Please.
They made Trump a felon, right?
They did.
Did they take his guns?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. Because they knew they couldn't.
Right.
They knew that he was well prepared that they could not take his firearms away from him.
Right.
He wasn't stupid. They wasn't stupid. I mean, eventually they threw all that stuff out because it was unlawful. The reason why they put all of this stuff into play is a fearmonger person not to go do it. I don't agree with having a license to carry. I don't agree with the government and being involved in any of it because my mind goes back to the original intent of the Second Amendment, which was government tyranny. All of this other snabba that they added into had nothing to do with the Constitution. The right to keep and bear arms was for the right of the people to protect themselves against government tyranny. So when government started if government is making the rules, that is not right. That once again is, in my opinion, is unconstitutional because it's violating my right to protect myself and have access to the best weapons possible to protect myself against government tyranny.
And you're right. And I cannot disagree.
So that's why I disagree with all of it. Even though I did it, I disagree with it.
Right. And then there's a caveat. There's a caveat to that. The caveat is that there are three different governments that are overseeing what you're allowed to do because one government says you can't do it. We're not even going to infringe on your right.
Right.
Yet you have a lower government that turns around and says, oh, no, we are going to infringe on your right because we're not benefiting from it.
And that's where the scary part is for most people is because now they got to go through this lawful battle.
Exactly.
But the mistake that you made was you voted for somebody that wanted this to go.
That's
this
right.
is the mistake that we make. We vote for people that want that for you, but they will not want that for themselves. They want you to be at the mercy of government tyranny,
Right.
at the mercy of their power and control, even
Right.
though you're their boss. And then they want to turn around and flip the script and tell you what you can and cannot have.
Right.
This is why the United States, when you look at the United States structurally, when it was set up, it was to prevent all of these type of things that we see happening today. But slowly but surely, keep trying to find slick ways to chop at it. When they started the weapons ban of automatic weapons, right?
Right.
And when they started trying to regulate in the United States of America, when they started putting all these rules, it started back when black people started owning firearms. It all started when black people got free, and then they started owning firearms. Then all of a sudden they wanted to add these other amendments in because it was racially motivated back then. This is the part everybody seems to leave out. It had nothing to do with criminals. If you go back to like 1940s and back in the 1800s,
Well, it goes back further than that, brother.
back further than that. When you start to see, when they started releasing for slaves and giving them their freedoms, and they started having birthright citizenship, and they started getting the right to keep and bear arms, then they started wanting to change the rules because they, again, wanted to make sure that black people, they're not saying it verbally, but they're trying to write it lawfully to prevent melanated people from having the right to keep and bear arms. If I make it so that you can't defend yourself against government terror. Because when you look at Black Wall Street, right, what they call Black Wall Street,
Right.
it was a government that did that.
Right.
It was the Democratic politicians that did that and took them down.
Yes.
If they had better weapons, if they had better their own law enforcement, army, or whatever to protect their assets, would that have been so easy? No.
Absolutely not.
Right. And this is why I tell people, stop letting these politicians and stop voting for politicians that keep trying to just dish you out there as if they're doing something in the best interest of protecting the people. None of that protects the people. That protects them from, that puts the people, that what that does is that protects the politician from the people. Because if the people is disarmed and the politicians are not, they have no threat from the people. People out there waving flags and protesting is no threat to me. But armed people coming with the flag saying you're not going to do this to us is a different story. It's a different message.
Right. Right.
That's why politicians always trying to find slick ways to do this stuff. It's never about protecting the people. It's always about them protecting themselves so that they don't have to worry about when they throw these laws out there, so they don't have to worry about the threat of the people.
Right. And that's the reason why. And that's the reason why I was so happy to hear when Trump and the Department of Justice decided that if you have a felony, that does not mean that you are banned from owning a firearm. We just have to figure out what kind of felony you have, what was the reasoning of your felony, and if you actually have overcome that situation,
right,
to own your firearm.
Right.
So giving you that right back was just like you had said a moment ago. Trump is a felon. He never gave up his gun. He has the right to carry his gun. Does he do it? He doesn't need to. Yet it's true what you said. It comes back to government tyranny. Now, where the slippery slope comes in, what I believe is not the overall government, aka the federal department or aka Washington. Mm-hmm. I believe that the government tyranny comes more down to the mediocre levels of your state and then, of course, your county. Because one of the things I could not understand is this. Why is it that if the federal government is supposed to be government, why is it that the state has an office called the government, and then your local city town has an office and a building called the government, and then, of course, the county that you live in also has something called the government? Why is that? And it's like you said a moment ago, which I liked it very much how you said it. If we date back to slavery, they knew that once they released those individuals,
Mhm.
those individuals had one thing in common. We're going to come together and we're going to beat the shit out of these people. However it is, whether the pitchforks, clubs, baseball bats, mules, donkeys, whatever it is that they had control over, they knew that if those melanated people came back to them plantations, them some bitches weren't going to be alive because they couldn't call Mary Sue and they couldn't call Uncle Tom and they couldn't get Leroy off the porch in time to go get all these people that are coming at them.
Right.
So that's why they put all those stupid laws in, and they had all these little governments to overpower people. So I agree with you on the concept of government tyranny and the right to bear arms, and how the government is not to infringe on your right. Yet, like you said before, it comes back down to the local people who keep voting for these stupid people that come to their house saying, "Listen, can I borrow a cup of sugar?" How do you borrow a cup of sugar? How do you repay a cup of sugar? I don't understand it. I'm trying to figure this out. So when you vote for that person that borrowed a cup of sugar from you and has not paid you back your sugar, why do you keep saying that that's a good person?
And they're not.
So
These people that they vote for.
And there lies the problem. They
Right.
keep voting for these people that don't really give a two rats' tails about them. But they keep
And-
doing it. And then they want to know why they can't do certain things. It's just like, and I want to piggyback real quick. It's just like driving. A lot of people believe, oh, it's my right to drive a car. No, it's not your right. It is a privilege because your dumb ass don't even know what you're doing behind the car. Period. Okay? So you don't have the right to drive a car. You have the right to travel, but not in the car. No. If you don't know what you're doing, no.
I know one right.
Somebody else, right?
I know one right, and people need to take more advantage of when they do get arrested by the police.
What's that?
The
Right,
right
to
to
shut up?
remain silent.
Exactly, yes.
Because
your
y'all be
face
talking
on
yourselves
shut.
into trouble.
I don't understand how is it possible, and this is gonna sound bad. Matter of fact, no, it's not gonna sound bad because I've actually seen a whole lot. I've done reaction videos, you know of.
Yeah.
A lot of people always say they have a lawyer on speed dial, but they never call the lawyer first. They call their mamas, they call their friends, they call their boyfriends, girlfriends, sisters, aunts, nieces, nephews, but they never call the lawyer. And then they sit in the back of the car and say, I want to speak to my lawyer first. Well, hell, the phone.
They call their pets before they call the lawyer.
Exactly.
I heard
So
one was saying, "I was hello, meow, meow, meow." He's like, and yeah, they arrest me, meow, meow, meow. Hold on, meow, meow. Then the cat gave the phone to the dog. The dog like, woo, we roll. I'm being arrested. Where?
and that's where it's freaking hilarious. So when we come, as we tie all this comedy that we're doing, we tie it right back to the fact of being a gun owner. It's the same concept. You have the right to bear arms. You have the right to have a gun. Why are you living in a state that wants to turn around and tell you can't? Virginia just passed a law that said that a pistol is considered a rifle. What in the?
Let's not even get into the fact that half of these people don't even know what they be talking about.
How did how did y'all the state of Virginia got to be filled with stupider people than the whole damn Black Sea? Okay, the Black Sea is so tiny, but it's so deep, and you don't even see the animals that are in there. That's why it's called the Black Sea. That's Virginia. I understand why somebody would move to a state where they turn around and tell you cannot and will not, for whatever reasons, good, bad, ugly, or otherwise, own a firearm. You
know
aren't
what's the sad
able
part
to.
about it, Jay? And this is something that I rarely ever get into, but I do talk about once in a while. Is the ones that's making decisions, they're saying all this stuff, have no clue about firearms whatsoever.
Come on now. How many videos have you and I done together and separately on how these people don't know? The most famous one that comes to mind was Jasmine Crockett. When she turned around, she turned around and she said, guns kill people. And the guy stood up and said, so if I put my gun on this table right now and it shot you, but then nobody pulled the trigger, how'd you get shot? She says, that's not what I'm talking about. But you said guns kill people.
Right. That's how stupid they are. Now, but I give you one better.
All right, let's run it.
The former president
Oh,
of the United States of America, Joe Biden, said, if you get a rifle and you get a pistol brace and you put the pistol brace on the gun, it turns it into an assault weapon. I've never heard so much idiot. Listen. And it was so sad because everybody was doing videos on that statement. They would take a gun and lay the pistol brace on top of the gun. And listen, I went to people that didn't listen. And I said, if I asked you, what is a pistol brace? What would be your response to that? A pistol brace. Now, here's the thing. I'm not even on Joe Biden before. Now I'm on the other. I'm on the other people, right? The other people, politicians. They're up in Congress and everything, trying to make gun laws, and don't even understand what guns are. And the one they literally talking about, if you put a pistol brace on a firearm, it turns it into an automatic weapon, was the most idiotic thing. And I'm like, so I asked somebody that had no clue about firearm. I said, if I told you that I was going to add a pistol brace to my firearm, what would be your response to that? And they was like, well, I guess it sounds like some type of brace that you would use to hold the firearm or something. I don't know. Common sense. It's a brace.
yeah.
Now, these are the very same people that says, oh, we want to make things easier for handicapped people that are handicapped, like that have, certain issues and they need things that are made and invented for them to have that because it's harder for them, right?
Right.
So that pistol brace, which you add to the end of the thing, actually is a brace for somebody designed for somebody that had bad hand strength, like hand strength, so that they can brace it to their wrist. They didn't have a clue what that. That's why everybody was like, "What are they talking about?" Your president of the United States made that statement, had no clue what he was talking about. We all sitting, anybody that had any idea about firearms was like, what did he just say? And y'all went back and voted for the dummy to try to put him back in there, possibly put him back in there in second. This is where it, but again, you think because you vote for somebody qualified because y'all voted for him. This is the same dude that was trying to go after black people when he wrote that crime, the automatic weapons. When he wanted to ban assault weapons, it had nothing to do with banning the weapons.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that.
It had nothing to do with banning weapons. The reason why he went and did that is because black people once again started getting access to assault weapons, meaning automatic weapons, and that's why they banned them. That's why he seen black people owning them, and he was like, nope, we can't have that.
He said, nope.
Can't have a bunch of Negroes
Them niggas can't have that kind of firepower.
Automatic weapons. And then you Negroes still went and voted for him. And then y'all was ready to put the other Negro in there, Kamala Harris, who has the same mentality. And y'all always thought, listen, I seen them throw all the racist stuff at Trump and they possibly can. Meanwhile, Trump is in there actually giving the most people that was affected by these laws was African Americans. By far. They were changing the rules to make black people, melanated people, felons to keep them from having access to to firearms. Democrats was doing this across the board to keep black people from having access to firearms, and we kept voting for them every single time.
I gotta piggyback off of that real quick. Okay, I really do. This is gonna sound kind of fucked up, but look, truth is truth.
Truth is true.
I remember when the young boy passed away, the little melanated boy that wanted to become a law enforcement officer. When he went to the White House and he went to Congress, and they gave him they made him a federal agent for a day or whatever it was, and how all
DJ.
the Democrats are still sitting down, right?
You talking about DJ?
Yeah.
That was DJ. I remember. Yeah.
Now, the fact that he was melanated and his biggest dream was to become a law enforcement officer,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't for the fact of owning a firearm, is because he enjoyed the fact of keeping law. And it's amazing how the Democrats chose to go against him following and trying to be a law-abiding citizen.
Wasn't willing to stand for that nigga. But these
And
are
they
the
didn't
people
want
that's inclusive. They the ones always
That's-
talking about race. But you
And this
couldn't
is-
stand for a melanated person right there in your face, and y'all couldn't even do for that. But hey, they
But that's
throwing
my
the
point.
racism. They putting the racism right in your face.
And
And you still voted.
and all these people that voted for them just swallowed it up and said, "Yeah, they still gonna protect us. They're gonna do right by us." How is that possible when you actually see it for yourself? That your rights are being infringed right to your
Right.
face, and yet you
Yep.
believe that it's still okay. I don't get it. I don't.
Right. So again, you keep watching, and again they keep voting for these type of people, and they don't stop. I watch people vote for, and they'll debate it with me, and I'm like, all right, so what what does it benefit? What does it hurt to have a well-armed people? Now, I own firearms. Jay, you own firearms. I know a lot of people that own firearms. None of us are running around the streets trying to kill each other, kill people.
Absolutely not.
So it has nothing to do with. My point is, it has nothing to do with the firearms. It has
Nope.
everything to do with people's culture,
That's right.
what they're taught, what they believe, their
Yep.
mindset.
Yep.
And you got a bunch of people, and and it goes back to what I said, y'all embrace their culture, y'all embrace that behavior. You didn't fight against it, you embraced it. Now they're
Yep.
festered in your community like roaches.
That's
Now
right.
it's
Like,
all over
yep.
the place. And the more you keep embracing that behavior, the more you're going to get that type of stuff. The minute you as a people start standing up and say, this is not what we want for our community. You waiting for politicians to do what you're supposed to do. You're not going to do that in front of my door. You're not
Nope.
going to do that in front of my house. You're not going to come.
Right.
None of that stuff is going to go play. I'm going to give law enforcement a reasonable chance to fix the problem. This is why you pay the police. You call them 1,000 times. No, get it off my block and keep it off my block before we have to deal with it.
Look, I'm gonna jump in there real quick.
Go ahead.
There was a town that I was living at, and this is a true story. True story. No cap. No, this is a true story. I lived in a town that was considered the worst town to live in. The highest crime rate was focused on this one town, and I lived there. Right? They also had this thing about you could not own a firearm in this state. Right? I said, okay, no problem. There was drug dealers all over the place, including where I lived at. So one day I got so angry, I said, I cannot deal with this nonsense because y'all doing that shit next to my car and they ain't having it. I took myself a machete, right? Placed it on top of my car, and I said, all this shit that y'all doing, y'all keep that shit on the corners and around the block. Not in front of this car, 50 feet. 50 feet. Not happening. They said, nigga, who you think you talking to? I said, first of all, I ain't black. Okay? You see me with a machete. Does that mean I'm black? You know no black people don't carry no machetes. What did I tell you? He looked at me and said, you crazy. I said, crazy is not the word. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he said, like, well, hold on, you serious? I said, I'm damn serious. I don't want y'all doing this shit in front of my car. Okay? Y'all handle that shit around the corner. And they did. True story. They handled that shit around the corner. And they out then a couple of months later, like a year later, one of them came back and says, "What were you gonna do with that machete?" I said, "You see that landfill that's over there, right? The empty yard, that's a landfill, right? What do you think happens in landfills? Ain't nobody gonna question it. So why would I bother it? But you know what we do around here?" I said, "I know what y'all do, but y'all don't know what I do. It's out of respect. Respect me, I respect you. I don't believe in that snitches shit. No. I'm a snitch like a canary sitting on a damn tree. I'm gonna tell you like that right now. Y'all don't do it in front of me, you ain't gotta worry about it. Because I ain't scared of y'all. Period. Yeah. So when we talk about to bring that story to more to light, the reason why I was saying that is because, like you had said a moment ago, if they all come together, the community came together and had their own firearms, no one is gonna mess with them because they got their own firearms. No one's going to come in and rob. No one's going to come and steal. No one's going to cause any trouble because that's the way it is. You don't, and I believe you had said this a couple of times in a few lives about a joke about a bar. You go in with a gun to rob a bar and everybody else pulls out a gun and says, "What are you doing? Who are you robbing?" Why would you be so stupid to walk into a bar that's got a boatload of people with guns, right, but you want to come in there with a pea shooter? It's the same concepts. Like, and you're right. If the people came together and stopped believing that they had to fight each other, you're fighting the wrong people. You got to fight the people who are infringing on your rights,
right?
Versus the people who are trying to teach you something and come together. There was this thing many years ago. It was called a community. There's a reason why it's called a community. There's a reason why it's called a community. Hell, way before you was even born, it was called a tribe.
Right.
Why is it called a tribe? Because they came together and they knew what they had to do to protect the tribe.
Think about it like this. Let's say there's a football team arriving and they're getting off their bus. Any football team, just any. They all
remember the Titans.
Huh?
Remember the Titans.
Right? Let's just say they're getting off their bus, right? And they all just get off the bus and they stand there and somebody walks up and start fighting one of the football players.
Oh, it's an ugly moment.
What do you think gonna happen to that person that decided to start fighting one of the football players?
I'm just
now, I don't think there's too many people that's stupid, but you're probably not gonna walk out of that the way you thought in your head. I don't know. But this is how you got. Listen, if you're a unified community, this is my point that I'm trying to make here. Jay, we all traveled around different places, right?
Yes.
And I don't care what you say. There are certain neighborhoods, if you drive through, you already know you better not do that crazy stuff around there.
Yeah.
You already know. Without nobody saying anything, you say, "Man, look, no, don't do that around here, bro. They don't play that."
Right.
They don't say the police. They don't mention nothing about law enforcement.
Nope.
They say, "Don't do that around there." They don't play that.
That's right. That's right.
Take that somewhere else. You already know that these people are not going to play that.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be met with something that you didn't ask for.
Yeah.
The only reason law enforcement is going to come pick your body up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then probably figure out what happened. Well, you left around and found out.
You know, Ron, I know we're a little bit off the topic there, just a little bit. But I got to tell you, the reason why I'm laughing so hard about that football part, when I went to high school, my high school was called Clinton High School, and we were known as the Clintonians, right? And it was an all-boys school for many years. I remember that same thing that you just mentioned about someone starting a fight with one of the football team members when we got off the bus. The reason why I was laughing so hard is because you brought me back to what actually happened. You saw nothing but helmets, cleats, gear, balls, nets, teas, everything you can think of that was inside a bag was going right on top of that person. And when you got a whole bus full load of people, and every person except for the one that you felt the need to pick on got helmets, oh, you ain't look, lumps is not even.
You better be glad if you came out of that alive.
Yes.
You better be glad you did. That means
Yes.
that they was whooping your behind with mercy.
Ooh, with mercy, tell it. And to piggyback off what other thing you said was there was a movie that was called The Warriors. Okay, a lot of people thought that that movie was a joke. It was a true story.
Oh,
You
wow.
couldn't go from one block to another without getting your tail whooped. That wasn't happening. Okay, and they suffered a hell of a lot. So what you're saying is true. You know, and again, it comes back down to community. Matter of fact, I watched a movie a few years ago on how the whole country was up in a disarray. And these people were trying to travel from state to state to state. They came across this one small little town in a specific state, and they asked everybody in the store that they walked in, says, why aren't your people concerned about? Matter of fact, the movie is called God darn it, just had Civil War.
Okay.
That's the name of the movie. If you ain't seen it, watch it. In Civil War, there's a scene where the group of people come into a town, and everybody in this town is acting like there's nothing going on outside the town, because in actuality, there was a whole lot of stuff going on outside the town. But they had the town protected. And the girl that was standing behind the counter says, we're not worried about what happens outside. We're protected. The guy walks out the store. He looks up. He sees 5 people on top of the roofs with rifles like this, waiting for him to make a stupid move. It comes back to community. Community got to take care of the community. Bottom line. Matter of fact, was it last Friday or the other Friday that we did firearms, and I showed you sisters of survivors, sisters, something like that.
Yeah.
We joked around. We said that they don't know who's training who. We said they should not be talking about training.
Here's the thing. They were getting trained. I
Yes.
give them that credit. They were doing the best that they can do. I give them that credit. And hopefully that turned out a lot better than what we saw. But my point is, I'd rather see you trying to get better at what you're doing than not do anything.
Right.
Now,
Right.
there was stuff with that we had issues with, but they were learning and they were in the process of trying to get better at being handling firearms.
And they were coming together
And they
to
were coming
protect
together.
each other.
And my thing is this is that I'm a strong believer in that in order to have a safe community, you have to have a good, solid relationship with the people in your community, and y'all have to be on one accord about we want a better neighborhood. We don't need the police. It's their job to patrol and protect and do all that other stuff. But honestly speaking, the only real threat to criminals is a strong, solid community. Say, we're not having that here. If you want to go to war, we'll go to war, and we'll put a stop to it. So it's best that y'all go find something else to do with your life, because we're not having that here. But when you turn around and you embrace that culture, like roaches, it's going to fester to your house, your children. Now your sons and your daughters are embracing that culture, and now it became your whole neighborhood, and think that that's okay, and there's nothing okay about it.
Right. Right.
And then
Right.
you wonder why these young guys out here shooting and killing each other, because they don't see the honor in protecting your home. They rather go violate and terrorize their very own community.
Right.
You want to go terrorize somebody, go sign up for the military.
You know they ain't doing that.
Right. Make it count.
That's what ain't happening.
Tell them to put you on the front line.
There was something that you said, okay, about community and coming together,
Right.
and telling people what not to do. Can I show a quick video clip? Can I show something real quick?
Yeah,
Because this, even though it's a movie, it is actually a true story that a lot of people don't know about. Okay, I promise you, I'm going to make it less than the actual length. I'm going to speed through it. I'm going to speed through it because this is so interesting on what you said on how the community does have to come together in order for certain things to happen. Okay, And if the community doesn't know how to come together, this is a clear indication on why the community has to come together. Because no matter how you turn around and say this doesn't happen, this actually happens. Okay? So real quick, I promise you, I just want to show this real quick because this is interesting.
Fellas, you did not dress properly. He's gonna have to leave.
Properly?
Jimmy,
What's wrong with the way we're dressed?
what's up? This gentleman ain't dressed right. I asked him to leave.
Is there a problem there?
Problem is, your man here says we're not properly dressed, like our money ain't green. We just want a couple of beers.
A few beers, that's it.
That's it. We'll be on our way. We ain't looking for trouble.
Spoke like a gentleman. Give me the beers. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. No problem.
You got some brews down here, nice cold ones. Get some nice cold brews. Come on. Two over here, huh? One more over here. One more.
All right, brothers, if I may, a toast to our host.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Look at all this shit all right now. Hey.
Oh, you again, huh?
That wasn't very nice. Now he's got to leave.
I'll tell you when the fuck we leave, all right? Get the fuck away from me.
Go watch the bites, man.
Almost.
Now you just can't leave.
See, now I had to cut it off there because I didn't want to go any longer. But the whole concept is to see how a group of people came into a community and caused ruckus.
Right.
And the community came together and said, we're going to give you the opportunity to behave yourselves just because you spoke right. And you see how they got out of hand. And then the beautiful part is it says, okay, he turned around, he went to the door, pulled the clothes. Now you can't leave. I couldn't show you the rest of it because, of course, for
Yeah, I know you're going. Yeah.
But I can say it like this: they whooped the tail out of every single one of those motorcycle riders inside the bar. Now, this is a true story. Even though it's a movie, it's a true story because a lot of people don't know it actually happened. I used to live literally 3 blocks, like 6 blocks away from that bar.
Wow.
Okay, when I was a kid growing up, I couldn't go 3 blocks close. My cutoff point was 3 blocks because of my skin color.
Oh.
Okay, that part of town was called Little Italy, and you couldn't go in there at all. If you was my shade, now mind you, I was a lot shinier and brighter as I was younger. Okay, I look like that brand new caramel that was inside the damn caramel bag, all nice and shiny and bright. Okay, they said I was too dark to come into that neighborhood, and I was a scrawny little summer gun. But the reason why I want to talk about that video real quick is because you said a moment ago, if we come together as a community and we train each other and we teach each other how to protect each other, we'll be much more powerful against government tyranny. Because government tyranny is describing, very simplified, a group of people who will infringe on your right. So I agree with you 100%. We got to come together. The faster we come together, the easier it is that we can protect those that are inside the community the same way a tribe was. For those that don't understand this, Zulu, there's a reason why Zulu was a very, very powerful tribe many, many years ago. So again, you got to come together in order to protect each other. You got to be taught how to use certain things. So you got to be taught how to use a gun. You got to be taught how to use a rifle. And if I'm not mistaken, real quick, there was a politician that was confused between an assault rifle and a rifle. And they tried to say that they wanted to put a ban on assault rifles because it wasn't supposed to be used for hunting or somewhere along those lines. And then they turned around and said that the AR is a rifle.
They said AR-15 was an assault rifle.
And they didn't know that the AR stood for the actual name of the company.
Company that made the AR, right? So but again, you elect people, they start talking this dumb stuff, and they have no idea what they be talking. Listen, they lying in your face, and you don't even realize how you act like you don't even see the fact that they lie. People who understand firearms, understand the industry, and you don't have to be a professional. You just got to understand it enough to know that they don't know what the hell they were talking about.
Facts.
From the president of the United States at that moment on down, they had no idea what they were talking about. I had one politician say, "Why would you need an AR-15? It's too heavy. You can't even lift it." That was Maxine Ward.
Idiot.
What are you talking about?
Idiot.
Idiots.
Too heavy.
Automatic weapons. Why do you need? And then they tell you, "Oh, why do you need 30 rounds in the clip?" All right, did you see these guys on the corners and at the gas station, 3 assailants walking up on one person, and they got, even if they all had 10 round clips,
That's
you're still
30
dealing
rounds.
with 30 rounds.
Exactly.
So you want me to be limited to 10 rounds when they got 30 because it's 3 of them and 1 of me. That does not affect them because they're still going to go get the clips that have 30 rounds.
That's right.
They're going to do it.
Yeah.
They're going to go get everything that they can to make sure that they carry. They don't care about your laws.
They don't.
The only people who care about laws is the people that don't want to get caught up in it.
Which is the law.
They don't care if they get caught up in it. Because they have nothing to lose.
Right.
Jail is an accomplishment for them. That's what they're trying to do, go to jail.
Yep. They got their
They're
stripes
trying
in
to
jail.
get what they call street credit. They're trying to go to jail. 3 hot meals and a roof over their head. That is their ultimate goal.
Ultimate goal.
And to spend the rest of their life, hopefully, in there with a bunch of men. That's their goal. Because it has to be your goal if that's the lifestyle you chose for yourself. If you choose that lifestyle, your goal is, I want 3 hots in the cot, or a cot. 3 hots in the cot.
Yeah.
And be around a bunch of men all my life. That's what you chose.
And the bad part is, it's 99% because they're safer inside than they are outside.
Right.
Because they're actually walking the streets, they know that there's a group of people or a person that's not afraid of them, because now they know they're solo. They ain't got that community behind them.
Right.
So now they know they're gonna get their tail whooped, and they need to be with the community inside the jail to make a bigger community, because that's the only way the community survives. So that's the other thing I don't understand, that how, like you said a moment ago, how these criminals, their ultimate goal is to wind up in jail, to be part of a community inside the jail, but you couldn't do it outside the jail. What was the difference? What's the major difference between making the same kind of community outside the jail legitimately versus illegitimately?
Because in jail, there's no real temptation. Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there is no cars to steal in jail. There's no stores to rob in jail.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
There's
So
no
in
excitement.
jail, they didn't change their behavior. They just lost access.
That's a good way to put it.
And that's what's happening. That they just lost access to what they was doing when they was out here in the street. So the behavior didn't change. It's just I don't have access to what I have. Even a person that's a serial killer, you notice when they're in jail, they don't kill them. Because they know that the people that they're in jail, they're going to probably kill them.
True.
And then they say, I'm reformed. And I'm not saying that there is no cases where they are. But then when they get back out here, now you back out here in the real world where the temptation is out here again. Now you got access to stores, houses, people, women, all this stuff. Now it's all the temptation comes back. And if you're not fixed internally, it just looks like that because you're in jail. You don't have the access.
Right.
But now you out here back out in the street. And now you got access again.
You're going to go right back to it.
You're going to go right back to jail. Because the temptation now, if you thought you was fighting the temptation, no, you just didn't have access. It was easy.
Right.
Lock a man in a cage. The only thing he can hurt is himself and what's in that cage.
This is true. And for those that don't understand why we're saying this, because it actually does come back to Firearm Friday, because again, being a responsible gun owner is also protecting and knowing your community and understanding why your community is there, why the people around you, either A, you need to defend them, or B, you have to intimidate them by letting them know you're not that one to mess with. Not because you got the firearm, because you understand the respect of the community. Because you got to understand, just because you're a firearm owner doesn't mean you're Billy Badass. Because there's somebody else that's out there that has a bigger gun than you do, a better gun than you do, more experience on how to use the gun than you do.
Mm-hmm.
The same way they say you don't pick a fight with a damn gorilla when you can't even fight. Real simple.
Yeah.
Real simple. So that's why all this ties together. For those who don't understand why it is, it all ties together. So that's it.
But with that said, we're gonna get ready to close out the show.
Oh my gosh, already that time. See what happens, man. We didn't, man.
Yeah, I know.
See,
This was only supposed to be a 15-minute
show.
I know, I'm joking.
We can't have a show together. No.
But yeah, great show, great show, great show.
Great show, great show.
I that's why I said I just felt like I wanted to have what I consider man-to-man conversation about these subjects, and understanding that the culture, man, and when you embrace that culture, it opens up a whole lot of problems. But make sure y'all tuning in next Friday or whatever. We never know what we're going to do, and we usually try to figure it out throughout the week. But sometimes we just come in and we power up. And we appreciate y'all hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, checking out all the wonderful things we got going on the OG Network. Also taking advantage of that promo code, OG Network 26. So when you go shop at Top to Bottom Hair and Skin Care, Top to Bottom Organics, you get some of that wonderful hair care products like that Afro Magic and that Vanilla Bean Body Wash and all of that coconut butter cream cluster and those candles and that car freshener and all that wonderful product that they make over there. You put in that OG Network, you'll get 15% off all of your purchases, $35 or more. That's OG Network 26 promo code. And you spend that $35, you get 15% off, and then you can spend some more money.
And there's a $10 sale going on too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that $10 sale. Yeah.
So you use the OG Network 26 for that $10 sale. You'll come off with a whole lot of, aka a haul.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Listen, I'm gonna put y'all on game. Real talk. All their products are wonderful, but I ordered me some air freshener, right? I got it in my car, in my bathroom, in this room. Actually, you can't really see it, but it's behind me, hanging off the tip of my firearm. But it smells so good in here. But here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you how good it smells. I went and bought up everything. I said, I'm going to make them make some more because what they got right now is going to be mine, all mine.
Thank you, Mirrorhead. Appreciate you stopping on through. Really do.
Yeah, real talk. So I ended up buying up all. I mean, they got more, but I went in there and I said 5 left. Yeah, I need all that. But if you haven't had a chance to try out the air freshener, I call it air freshener, but they have a fancier name for it. But I like it. I really do. And I'll try up all their products and stuff like that. And I always give them my honest opinion. I don't I give my honest opinion on different things that I do. But the body wash, and they make great product. You need to try it out. Test them out. Try it out. Trust me when I tell you, you're gonna be happy. What's up, bro?
I gotta jump in there. I gotta say this. There's a video. Ron and I did a Firearm Friday live.
Oh, yeah.
Live. It wasn't recorded. It was live. He got stung by a mosquito on his nose. He took a top to bottom product that is called the
cocoa butter
custard.
custard.
Cocoa butter custard. He took some of the cocoa butter custard, dabbed that mosquito bite. During the live, that damn thing disappeared. During the live.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about 2 hours later, and I'm not talking 3 hours later, and I'm not talking about a whole 45 minutes later. I was shocked. if you sit there and watch the video where he says, hold on, he went and got dang on custard, put a dab on his nose, and watch how fast that thing disappeared. So not only is it good for the skin, it eliminates, yes, I'm gonna use that word, it eliminates a mosquito bite. I didn't believe him. I'm gonna tell you, I didn't believe him.
Yeah, because I told him it worked.
Okay.
I told him it worked, and he didn't believe me. Well, I've used it before that moment. That was just the first time I actually got to use it on a video. And I got bit while we was on live, and then my nose swelled up right there, and I'm like,
He sure did.
And I said, man, I got bit by a mosquito. I said, oh, hold up. So I went in, got my coconut Burger King plus, came in here. I said, watch this. And I dabbed it on my nose. Soon as I put it on my nose, the itch went away immediately.
I was shocked.
Because if you remember, I kept going like this to my nose because it was itching.
Yeah.
And I got that put on there. Itch went away immediately.
Look,
as the live going on, I picked my face back up to the screen. And Jay was like,
gone.
And I took a picture when it happened. I actually have the pictures. I took one before, one after.
I got the pictures.
And
gone.
And
look, I thought I gotta say, I thought he had something else inside that jar that's like cocoa custard. So I got bit. Anybody that live in the South, okay, y'all know we got much bigger mosquitoes.
We got dragon mosquitoes.
These some bitches look like dragons, yes. I watched the damn mosquito bite me right here on my finger, and I watched it. I waited till it finished drinking. I gave him the opportunity to stop drinking. When it flew away, I said, damn it, Ron, we're going to see if you're lying. I put that joker right on there. Ron wasn't lying. So, damn it, Ron. From me to you, I love you, brother, even as you're from another mother. But damn it, damn you, Ron. You just... Ron's opinion does matter. So change the damn title, god dang it. Because I did it.
Not gonna happen.
I am so humbled to be in your presence, brother Ron. It is disgusting. And I mean that with all true lovingness.
No, it's all good, bro. Much love to you too, man, bro. I appreciate it, man. I love when we do these shows together, man. I appreciate it, man. It's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. I mean, and you know, we've been working together for a little while now. I mean,
facts.
I appreciate it. I mean, and you help out the channel a whole lot, bro. And sometimes when I ask you to go in the background and help out, you were back there and you did a heck of a job.
Listen,
and
I'm a firm believer of these three words. I don't believe it from no one else. I'm gonna keep it 100. I got you. Every time you say you got me, you come through. Every time I say I got you, I'm gonna come through. So Ron, this is the reason why I got you. Because there's no reason for me not to get you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Good way.
And that's what's up, bro. And I feel the same way, man. I mean, like I said, we having fun, man, and then we ain't having fun while we doing it. I mean, we ain't having fun while we doing it. And I'm enjoying it, man. And we gonna keep riding this train. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. We get ready to close out the video. We're gonna go ahead on, and I gotta give me some rest. I got things to do tomorrow that I shouldn't have signed up to do, and regret is starting to set in.
Better you than me, brother. Better you than me.
But we appreciate y'all. We're gonna move on. Jay, I see you, man. I talk to you, man. Make sure y'all check the next show, which is a Fracking Show. Will be on Sunday at 12 o'clock noon. And, we'll see how Fracking Show goes. Because Fracking Show is unscripted. It's always whatever. That's the best way to explain the Fracking Show. It's always whatever.
It's for entertainment purposes only.
But with that said, we're going to get up out of here. Like I always say, y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. We out of here. Peace.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, The U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.